Aren't you the Emperor's son? I have seen your face in the marketplace. The Emperor's son is right here. Damn it. Dash. Not good. Get him. Yeah. Stay away. Ah. He's mine. Grip. If I join him to the Zhao soldiers, if I give him to the Zhao soldiers, I will be able to keep my belongings. No, I saw him first. Give him to me. I saw him first. Give me. He is mine. I want his head. Just the head. Stop. Todd. Chapter 1. Pectoral region, axilla, shoulder, and upper limb. 48. Complete brachial plexus diagram. 49. Musculocutaneous nerve distribution and spinal segment. 50. Median nerves distribution, spinal segment and median nerve palsy. 51. Ulnar nerve distribution, spinal segment and ulnar nerve palsy. 52. Axillary nerve distribution, spinal segment and axillary nerve palsy. 53. Radial nerve distribution, spinal segment and radial nerve palsy. 54. Anterior dissection of the shoulder and arm muscle. 55. The shoulder muscle, anterior and posterior view. 56. Muscle of the anterior arm, superficial dissection. 57. Muscle of the anterior arm, deep dissection. 58. Brachial artery in the median and ulnar nerves in the arm. 59. Deep dissection of the anterior arm, musculocutaneous nerve. 60. Posterior dissection of shoulder and arm muscle. 61. Shoulder region, supraspinatus muscle and the rotator cuff capsule. 62. Muscle on the lateral and posterior aspects of the arm. 63. Posterior arm, the three heads of the triceps muscle. 64. Attachment of muscle in upper limb, anterior view. 65. Attachment of muscle in upper limb, posterior view. 66. Posterior arm vessel and nerves, superficial dissection. (62) Muscle of the lateral and posterior aspects of the arm. 63. Posterior arm, the three heads of the tricep muscle. 64. Attachment of muscle in upper limb, anterior view. 65. Attachment of muscle in upper limb, posterior view. 66. Posterior arm, vessel and nerve, superficial dissection. 67. Arteries and nerves of the scapular and posterior brachial region. 68. Superficial dissection of the anterior forearm. 69. Superficial dissection of the posterior forearm. 70. Anterior forearm, superficial muscle. 71. Anterior forearm, pronator teres and flexor digitorum, superficial is 72 anterior forearm deep muscle, 73 anterior muscle of the forearm flexor muscle chart. 74 anterior view of the radius and ulnar muscle attachment muscle chart. 75 fracture of the radius and the pronator teres muscle. 76 anterior forearm vessel and nerves superficial dissection. 77 anterior forearm vessel and nerves intermediate dissection. 78 anterior forearm vessel and nerves deep dissection. 79 elbow region vessel and nerves. 80 superficial extensor muscle of forearm posterior view. 81 superficial extensor muscle of the forearm lateral view. 82 deep extensor muscle of the forearm. 83 deep extensor muscle of the forearm. 84 spination and pronation of the forearm and hand. 85 extensor muscle of the forearm muscle chart. 86 posterior upper limb muscle and dermatomes review. 87 posterior attachment of the muscle on the ulnar and radius muscle chart. 88 nerves and arteries of posterior forearm superficial dissection. 89 nerves and artery of the posterior forearm deep dissection. 90 dorsum of the hand veins and nerves finger injection site. 91 dorsum of the hand tendons and interosseous muscle dermatomes. 792 dorsal synovial tendon seat at the waist anatomy of a finger. 93 dorsum of the hand tendons and arteries superficial and deep dissection. 94 palm of the hand superficial vessel and nerves. 95 superficial dissection of the palm of the right hand and two fingers. 96 palm of the hand muscle and tendon seat. 97 thinner and hypothinner muscle cutaneous innervation of the palm. 98 palm of the hand muscle and flexor tendons tendon insertion. 99 palm of the hand deep dissection of muscle and finger. Chapter 1 Pectoral region axillary shoulders and upper limb. 100 muscle of the deep palmar hand region dissection number 1. 101 muscle of the deep palmar hand region dissection number 2. 102 dorsal interosseous muscle in the deep hand. 103 palmar interosseous muscle in the deep hand. 104 lumbrical muscle tendons and cross section of the middle finger. 105 the carpal tunnel more distal cross section of the middle finger. 106 carpal tunnel superficial palmar arterial arc. 107 palm of the hand nerves and arteries superficial dissection. 108 palmar arterial arches. 109 palmar arteries and nerves variations in the deep palmar arc. 110 Sagittal section through the middle finger, ulnar view. 101. Radial side of the hand, arteries and superficial nerves. 112. Skeletal of the thorax, scapula. 113. The humerus. 114. Shoulder joints, ligaments, and bony structures. 115. X-ray of the right shoulder joint. 116. Acromioclavicular and shoulder joints. 116. Acromioclavicular and shoulder joints. 117. The right shoulder joints, anterior and posterior view. 118. Glenoid, labrum and cavity, clavicular and scapular ligaments. 119. Lateral view of shoulder and joint, forward section of the joints. 120. Radiographic anatomy of the right shoulder joint I. 121. Radiographic anatomy of the right shoulder joint II. 122. Bones of the upper limb, radius and ulnar. 123. Elbow joints, radiograph, adult and child. 124. Elbow joints, anterior, posterior, and sagittal view. 125. Elbow joints, bones, ligaments, medial view. 126. Radio ulnar joints. 127. Radiograph of the wrist and hand. 128. Bones of the wrist and hand, palmar aspect. 129. Bones of the wrist and hand, dorsal aspect. 130. Wrist and the hand, ligaments and joints. 131. Wrist, hand and fingers, joints and ligaments. 132. Cross section of the upper limb, arm. 133. Cross section of the lower third of the arm. 134. Cross section of the upper limb, elbow and upper forearm. 135. Middle forearm, cross section and MRI. 136. Computerized tomograph of the wrist. 137. Cross section of the upper limb, wrist and hand. 138. The thumb, index finger and fingernails. 3-some. Feng Shinji, Kamen anatomy plus me. Looks like fun. Fighting and yelling over a little kid just to save your own sorry lives. Aren't you ashamed? King, Father, if you want to please the Zhao soldiers, come and tie me up, not my son. What's wrong? I am right here, come. If you are too scared, then leave. Ouch. Bujin, haven't I told you to stay with your mother Why are you here?